Hello, and welcome to another episode of Quarantine Kitchen. Today we're going to be attempting a timeless recipe that takes a bit of time. We're going to be doing a mushroom risotto. Unlike our other recipes, this does take a lot of patience because we are going to be over the stove the entire time, really feeding the rice all the broth it needs in order to get that perfect creamy and starchy taste. So I'm going to throw everything up on the board for you so you can follow along at home. The first step in our mushroom risotto is to prepare all the vegetables. I've already gone ahead and chopped up the mushroom melody here, which consists of shiitake, button, and oyster mushrooms. So I've got way more than needed here, but I might throw a little bit extra in. It only calls for about a cup. And this assortment of mushrooms should give it a nice earthy flavor. I'll put that to the side for a moment. And then what we need to do is prepare our garlic, get that nice and fine, and our shallot slash green onions. Now these two pieces will go in together to help get the base of our risotto ready. With our vegetables chopped, we are ready to start cooking. I wanted to take a quick minute before we spend pretty much the rest of our video over there by the stove. First, the green onions I cut, I made sure to get them nice and small, and I stopped cutting around the time they started to turn green. I also took the tops off of them and put them off to the side as a nice garnish for the final product. And if you're looking for another project to do instead of cooking at home, you can actually take the bottoms of these onions and soak them in water, and then they will sprout and you've got yourself a little onion garden in your house. So, fun facts. Alright, let's get over to the stove. Welcome to Stoveside. The first thing we're going to be doing is preparing the mushrooms. Now I've already got the small saucepan with some olive oil going on a medium to high heat. And all we're going to do is take our mushrooms here and cook them for no more than 3 minutes. And then we're going to put them to the side. This is a rather quick step, and if you'd like to use one pan the entire time, it's a little bit more efficient, but for me, I think it's just quicker for me to use the two here. So make sure everything's coated in oil and cook that up for a bit. As you can see, the mushrooms have got nice, good color, and they're sizzling a little bit, and they've sweat out some of their moisture. So I'm just going to put that to the side, and over here in a large saucepan, which my friends in college didn't believe I had, I've started heating up some oil, and I'm going to be adding the green onions and garlic. So we're going to let that sizzle, and then before we add anything else, we're going to add some of our rice. And typically the rice for this is Boreo rice, but this is still a quarantine. People are hitting the Kroger's hard, so I had to use some old sushi rice I had around, which should still be good because it is very starchy, and that's what you're looking for with risotto rice. The saucepan is starting to boil with the oil and all of our vegetables, so we're just going to add in the 1.5 cups of rice. Oops. And not that piece of paper. And with this, we're going to spread it around, get it in the oil, and we want to get the rice to a light golden color. This shouldn't take very long. And once that's done, we'll be adding in 1/2 cup of white wine. The rice is starting to change color, so we're going to put in our 1/2 cup of white wine. Ooh. There's a reaction. And this is basically going to be the name of the game from here on out. We're going to be adding a little bit more we're going to be adding chicken broth instead of the white wine. But we're just here to just push the rice around, make sure it absorbs everything in there, and keep it from burning. So for the next 20 to 30 minutes, we are going to be hovering over this pan right here. Okay, so the white wine evaporated quickly, so now we're switching over to our chicken stock. And this is going to be a half a cup at a time. You really don't want any more of that because then you'll drown the rice, and we need those babies swimming. Now, it's just to help it give it time and to help the starches build up. So the stock will take a lot longer than the white wine in order to fully be absorbed and or evaporate, just because of the makeup of it. But here we go. Just pretend like you're a 4-year-old playing with your food. You want to keep it moving so that the rice doesn't burn. It didn't take long. You got to listen to your rice when it's asking for more of the stock. You want to keep it bubbling, and again, not letting it burn is really what you need to do here. I wasn't kidding when I said that this is a time-intensive project, not so much because it's going to take all day, but because you can't leave its side for very long without the risk of ruining your meal here. So be patient and take your time, and you'll get through this. Just listen to the rice. As you should be able to see in your own pan, and it's very evident here, is that it is getting more and more full. The rice is expanding, which is a good sign. It's what we want. Let's see. It's definitely got that chicken flavor, but still a bit al dente, which is fine because I got a bunch of chicken broth left here to go. So keep adding that broth and stirring it around. We've probably got another 10 minutes of this to go. Our risotto continues to grow in size here. It looks to be about done, so it's about 3 times with the volume of what we started. And you should notice that there's almost a milky liquid left behind. That's all the starches breaking down. Oh, this is great. If you can see that on my spatula, that's the starch there, which means everything's breaking down and we're nearly done. So once you get the rice right where you want it, which is just a hair al dente, we're going to kill the heat and start adding everything into it and wrapping the sucker up. The remainder of the broth has burned off, and now we've got a good consistency where you see the rice kind of sticks to its own side when pushed around. I'm going to kill the heat, and just the temperature of this rice will get us the rest of the way. The only thing left to do is add the other ingredients. So even though the rice is real creamy, we're adding half a stick of butter, some of our scallions, and a half a cup of Parmesan cheese, winging that one, and of course our mushrooms. Oil and all, we want it all in there. And then we go back to pushing it around. This time we want to make sure everything is mixed. With everything mixed, we're ready to plate. So I'm going to put this in a bowl and meet you over at our other station. We've got our finished product here. I think a little bit of pepper will go a long way on this. I would not add any salt because the stock is full of sodium. You should have your fill in it. Oh, and a little bit of the scallions to make it a little bit more presentable. Taking my lessons from my friend Mel, who's been showing me a lot of good food porn. So let's dive in. All right, this is good. I'm not too surprised because I've had to be checking the rice every couple of minutes, but the taste is great. The mushrooms are the only thing that caught me by surprise. It is a little bit earthy. I kind of wish I salted those going into this. This is another dish I'm pretty happy with. I think everything worked together well, and I would highly encourage everybody to try this at home. The there's not a lot of ingredients that go into this, and as long as you are attentive on the stove, you should come out with a good dish. You taste test it often, and I think you'll be happy with it as well. So, for my kitchen years, stay safe.